We can say also known as Jasmine Cosplay.
Okay. Check. Because I'm always worried about overdrive because of my overdrive incidents. Okay. Check. Now I'm very loud. Okay. All right.
Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3.
Wait. So Jay Stilipec, last name too. Okay, good.
Good afternoon, Baltimore Comic-Con. We have two short announcements. First, Joe Posada appearing at booth
This guy has been really enjoying announcements today.
I know, right? Yesterday,
Do not hesitate.
He's like,
hey, remember, you're at a convention. Thanks.
All things Marvel.
I will now read you the
Program
program.
is on sale now.
Don't forget, there's vendors everywhere.
Did we mention there are comic books?
Mine's the guy. Next station.
Then it quiets for a second, and okay.
Yeah, I have.
You
people
want
do announcements at school. They take forever to read through these announcements.
Do you want to line it up?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay.
All right, ready? You're recording?
We are recording. I'm recording on.
Got
We're going to do it on the sound on this so that we can get the visual when Jay explains.
Here we are at the Friday Night Movie booth at Baltimore Comic-Con with our dear friend Jay Stilipec, also known as Jasmine Cosplay.
Jasmine Cosplay.
Sorry, it's been a while, but we are so happy to have Jay here with us to talk about better backstories. Jay, can you take us through what you're here with?
Okay, well, I have been a role player for over 30 years. Played Dungeons and Dragons, Star Wars, and moved to Masterminds, and I love making characters. I have over 500 superhero characters that I've created. I have over 250 D&D characters that I've created, and I just like making sure they all have a unique character, a unique story. And there's books that you can use and such, but they can be so cumbersome. So a friend of mine was into tarot cards, and I said, what if I combine the power of random charts that you get out of a book with tarot? And so I have a deck of cards that I call Better Backstories, and I ran a Kickstarter back in the end of 2019. I made $25,000. I had 1,350 backers from all over the world, got it all printed up, and then COVID hit. So this is only our second time at a convention actually selling the cards. I've had a website, and I have Twitter and Instagram. This has been great, really get the hands-on with the people and really show the power of creativity.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Becky. Oh, sorry. We're siblings and we cut each other off a lot. But I'm so excited about this because we remember when this was a dream. We remember talking to you about this pre-Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And
when you're still in the prototype stage.
In the prototype stage, and I have my deck, but I'm so excited to know that there are now hundreds, thousands of decks.
Thousands of decks. I printed over 3,000 regular decks and 300 holographic decks.
Ooh.
We've only got about 50 of the holographic decks left.
Ooh. I might be taking home some holographic decks. I might be taking home some holographic decks today.
Very shiny.
That's gotta love the holographic, especially if you're an 80s, 90s type kid.
Indeed.
So I love the idea of the characters because I didn't play a lot of D&D, but I remember the lead up to a game. All of the fun decision making about the characters was so much fun, and it would take so much time, and then you'd get going, and then it was like, okay, we're playing the game, but can we just make some more characters? I dug that. The other thing, though, and I look at this now, I got little kids, an 8-year-old and a 9-year-old, and they love writing.
Yes.
And they come up with really cool characters, but I also think about how cool it would be for them, what a fun writing challenge it would be for them, to pull out better backstories, have them come up with a character and say, okay, write a story about this character. Could this be used for someone of an 8 or 10-year-old? Could this be adapted for someone of that age?
Oh, absolutely. The cards are very generic in what they say. And if you just go based off of the headline or the title of the card, you're an explorer. Let's tell a story about an explorer. I have friends who say they use this as like a card, like a driving game. They're like, hey, we're going to be on a long road trip. Let's break out better backstories and tell a story about. And when they start to get stuck, you play another card. Somebody's very dedicated about something. You don't even have to read the flavor text. You can just go off of the prompt at the very top. But I've had writers I broke a guy out of 2 years of writer's block. He wrote a 40-page short story based on the characters he came up with. I've had people that are like, I have a great stable of like my 5 main characters, but I need help flushing out all the NPCs. You know, the bartender, you know, the cop, you know, all those types of things. And I said, that's exactly what it's for. And I've had people who've made entire role-playing campaigns based on just a couple of suggestions from the cards. Not characters, the campaign, the story. You know, again, you flip over a couple of them. There's been a kidnapping of a craftsman and it's going to be traveling the world. You know, it's just that simple.
And what I find so cool about this is you've just been telling us the top line.
Yes.
But these cards have layers of depth that you can use or not use.
Exactly. We've got the flavor text on some of the cards, where it just kind of gives you a little bit more. What do we mean by world? And at the bottom of those particular cards, there are quotes that were provided by some of my Kickstarter backers.
Huh?
So they provided those quotes. But then sometimes you have a chart which has 10 options that you can either pick from, make up your own, roll your government-issued 10-sider, or
that's awesome.
I've lovingly included a random number generator on the back of the cards. So you just put another card face down, and we see that instead of just a craftsman, that you have to try to figure out what kind of a craftsman. Oh, they're a jeweler or an instrument maker. A little more specific.
Oh, then you give people a choice, so if they don't know what one of them is, they're not stuck with it.
Exactly, they can still choose. And again, it doesn't have to be a jeweler. Well, I want to be a goldsmith. And it's up.
Okay.
I encourage people to use the cards in whatever way makes sense to them. It's just meant to be an inspiration, not a law.
That's fantastic. Okay, here's what I would love to do right now. I would love to play some of the classic Friday Night Movie games with your cards. Because at the heart, I feel like what we do on Friday Night Movie is we take our very lowbrow view of the world, our desire to make fun of each other, our I would say improvisational sense of talking about movies and pop culture, and we like to throw challenges down. And so I want to match our home game of Friday Night Movie. Becky, do you have the home game handy? I want to match our Friday Night Movie home game, one of our bits, with some of your characters. Okay, because I feel like that would be like the ultimate throwdown here, to just show you how versatile Better Backstories is.
I just want to point out, while Jay has thousands of decks, we have 2.
We have 2. We made 4 once as prototypes.
Actually a home edition.
And Jay has, and this is a home edition, meaning this was never made for sale. And Jay has lots of words on his. Ours has 1 word or one prompt on it at most. And instead of a random number generator, we just have our logo. And even though we have 2 types of cards, we just have the same logo, so we get really confused as to what types of cards we have all the time. So,
it's a work in progress.
So how I think we should do this is, let's first generate a couple of characters.
Okay.
Right? I think we should, or should we create the bit first and maybe figure out how many characters?
I think let's start with the characters.
Okay.
Start with the characters.
And then we'll figure out how they combine together and know each other and work on the plot line.
Okay.
Well, we can see what we're supposed to do with them. Are we supposed to buy, rent, man them? Are we supposed to pitch it perfect them? Or
Retcon the story. Okay,
retcon
exactly.
The story.
Okay.
Like, we can see what we're supposed to do with them. Let's create our characters first.
It'd be good if you had like a piece of paper, you could take some notes.
Oh yeah, I have a notebook right here.
Because again, the cards.
All right, we're
play
going.
the cards
Right, we're going to need to remember what we have. Becky, do you want to take notes, or do you want me to take
work
notes?
on the inspiration. So.
You're giving me the pen.
Give me the pen.
All right, I'm taking notes.
Making you do the work.
No, it's the handwriting in our family is not the strong suit.
It's a coin toss of who has the slightly more legible handwriting.
And so, those at home, this is going to be a special Friday Night Movie video edition. You can see how it works, how simple it is, and again, you don't need more than the deck to play with this, which is amazing. Again, card trip. I love the idea of this, bringing this on a card trip.
Exactly, and you can just shuffle it up, and I think there's over 440 options in a single deck, and if you draw 5 cards and do the math, it's like 14 billion combinations.
That's amazing.
It's very, very high. So I've drawn 4 cards. We find the hidden card. This says that you've been hidden away from your family, possibly when you were born.
Okay.
So if we're doing a modern day story, that could mean they don't have a social security number for some reason.
Okay.
Or they have some special destiny. Maybe like that man in the Iron Mask.
Okay.
A blessing has been imposed upon you. This doesn't necessarily have to be magical. We'll see. You have a tattoo for some reason, and you also have a patron, so somebody who supports you in your activities.
Ooh, very
So
interesting.
we're going to play a face down card for the lesson. Let's see, number 6. Says your parents were in a secret society,
Okay, this is starting to make more sense.
Okay.
and your tattoo
Be hidden away by the patron.
is your tattoo reminds you of something.
Okay.
I love tattoos because it's like, why did you get it? Where did you put it? Who is it of? You know, it's so the whole story can develop out of a tattoo.
I have it. I'm brewing the Pitching
Yeah,
Perfect
okay.
right now.
And
I've got
then-
it. You tell me what.
And then for the patron, it looks like we have a regional merchant. So somebody who's, maybe a local salesman or woodcutter
Okay.
or
Okay.
something like that. Okay, so that's our first character.
That's our first
Alright,
character.
love
I
it.
love it.
Got all
Okay.
those details?
Yeah. I got it. I got it.
Slide those out of the way. And our next character, familiar, hard time, bewitched, and a scoundrel. So the familiar usually has a magical sense to it. They have a magical creature of some
Oh,
sort
right. Yeah.
that supports it. But this is going to tell us what's that character's personality. They are secretly a transformed being.
Ooh.
So whoever this little creature that rides around on your shoulder, they're secretly something else.
Okay.
Hard time means you were in jail for a time. And it says here that you survived a disease that ravaged the entire prison population.
Okay, maybe your familiar helped you.
Maybe.
Maybe your familiar helped you
Maybe you
survive that.
escaped. The familiar came to you right before it happened. And helped you escape. You're bewitched, so you believe you have some type of a magical or mystical destiny. You think maybe you have magical powers, you don't know. And then that scoundrel card, number 10, you take what you want. So you could be a thief. Or evil.
I've got with it.
Which
I got
explains
this.
why you're in prison.
Right.
I have a very heavy subject matter, but I think it would make a really cool story.
Excellent.
This is made for you.
This is.
great.
I have a very heavy story pitch. Okay.
Well,
So
I think we should give these characters names just so we know who we're talking about.
okay.
So who do you see for the first character?
Okay. So the first character, we're gonna call the first character. We're gonna call the first character Rachel.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to throw out the second one. I want to call him Jonas.
Jonas.
All right.
Perfect. Love it.
Religious overtone.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what we're going here. Okay, so I think this really fits a Pitch Imperfect. Okay,
Okay.
Pitch Imperfect. The way Pitch Imperfect works on our show is you're pitching a story, you're pitching a trailer, you're pitching a movie. So you all are gonna be either executives or you're gonna play the role. I've got a. Is it a treatment? Becky knows what these things are.
Treatment.
I've got a story here. Okay. I got an idea here based on these characters. Okay. So Hidden Away. At first when I heard Hidden Away, I was thinking modern Hidden Away.